Hi, Messiah, Texas. I'm Emma, and I was selected to share my testimony for Testimony Tuesday. Some background information. I was born in a Christian home, and I moved to Texas when I was 7 or 8. I was always raised knowing the importance of having a relationship, nightly prayers, making sure we try our best to get to church on Sundays. And that was kind of like the basis of the relationship. In 2020, me and my family were attending this church basically since we had moved to Texas. So at that point, we had already been attending that church for a few years. And my mom kind of started to realize that like things weren't adding up in the church, to just pulling things out of context, or just things just simply didn't add up. I was 13 at the time, and 13 is a very rough age because, well, at least it was for me. Just because there's a lot of things happening around you. You're getting older. You're going from middle school to that high school age. You know, things are getting more serious, and there's just a lot of changes happening. And let me tell you, there was a lot of changes. In 2021, like my family as a whole, which is just like my immediate family, we kind of changed our mindset on a few things. We were looking things in more of a messianic view, and I was really angry at God for just kind of like changing my whole life, I guess you could say. Things were definitely taking a big turn, and that sounds dramatic, but probably was. But I was just really, really upset with God, and I really honestly didn't even want a relationship anymore. And I always knew God was real and stuff. I just did not care to strengthen that relationship or talk to him. I attended my first Messiah, Texas winter camp in 2023. And I was very much still angry at God. My heart was very hardened. It was very hardened. And I was really only there because of some friends I had made at a previous camp, a different camp, and I was kind of like just there for the wrong reasons. I wasn't there for God or anything. I was really just, my parents wanted me to attend camps and stuff, and so I was like, oh well, I'll just go and hang out with my friends there. So just there for the wrong reasons. I was actually supposed to leave early that camp. I played softball in high school. I'm still in high school. I was currently playing softball in high school, and I had softball pictures, and they were on that Monday morning, so I was supposed to leave that Sunday night. But things did not turn out how I intended. By the time Sunday night came, I was so ready to go home. Again, I was still very like, don't want anything to do with this. I was just like, all right, let's get the service done, and I'm going home. My mom's gonna be here. Let's go. And worship started, and like, even though I didn't want that relationship with God, like I was still raised to know, like, like you have to, like, it was more of just like, like I felt like I had to worship because it was like, because I just still believed God was real. It was just, I didn't want anything to do with him. So it was like, kind of like more of like a fear thing. And so worship started, and I was worshiping, and then the worship team played Run to the Father by Cody Carnes. And as that song played, I was reading the words on the screen while I was worshiping, and I completely broke down. I word for word just described literally everything I was going through, and I fell to my knees. I literally was on my knees, and I was bawling, sobbing, and I was like, I literally begged God for forgiveness and just repented for like being so angry, and my heart just kind of like softened that night, and I just was like so ready to like just embrace a relationship with God at that point. I was so like tired of being like putting up this angry fight and stuff. So that night really changed my life. The past 3 years I had been rejecting God and not wanting anything with him. So God really used Messiah, Texas to create this encounter that he had with me. And as you know, I was supposed to leave, but being at Messiah, Texas was just so comfortable for me. at home I was always the odd one out, and everyone else was just, I was the different one. And, you know, being at Messiah, Texas, I felt like I had so many friends, and I had so many people who genuinely cared about me and were like, yeah, let's walk this out together. Like, we're all in this together. And there was just a sense of comfort there. That night I actually was already bawling, and I ran to Jessica Darby, and I was like, can I please call my mom? And I called her, and I was like, Mom, I don't want to go home. I'm gonna stay until like we're supposed to leave and whatever. And that's exactly what I did. I am so grateful for Messiah, Texas, and if you have not attended one of their camps, I extremely recommend it. Everyone there was just like so just truly incredible. I was able to create like such good friendships out of being there, and God really used Messiah, Texas to help me, you know, pursue my relationship with him and get closer with him. So that is my testimony for Testimony Tuesday.